Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Good morning. Hello there.
So, I just wanted to share this with you guys and get your opinion, see what you think. And here's how life could change in my city by the year 2030. So, where is this coming from? Well, this is coming from the World Economic Forum.
Yes, so they have some pretty important opinions. In my opinion, I think we should pay attention to what they're putting out there.
Yeah, and who wrote this? Well, this is who wrote it, Ida Auken. Ida Auken is a former minister for the environment in Denmark from 2011 to 2014, a member of the Danish parliament for the Social Liberal Party, and chairman for Parliament's Climate and Energy Committee. Ida Auken was as the first Danish politician chosen to be a young global leader for the World Economic Forum, and has been elected to be one out of the 40 most promising young leaders under 40 in Europe. She's the author of the book Dansk and has written about climate, energy, and circular economy for many years.
So she holds quite a lot of weight, it seems.
Yeah, this is an up-and-comer. I mean, this is somebody that they're looking to lead the world. So what's the vision, And interesting here, as you see her name here, Member of Parliament, an author's note, because just like some other sites that you got a lot of curious response to, what do you mean by this forecast, for instance, for the year 2025? Well, there's been a lot of interesting comments made about this, and there's actually been a lot of videos made about this. When I discovered this, it's like, wow, okay, this person's in this video, this person has too. And, all we're doing here is I'm not going to give you my opinion. I'm going to ask you guys if you want to share yours, just because the response to the videos on this subject has gotten a lot of people in trouble. And, here we'll go with the author's note. Some people have read this blog as my utopia or dream of the future. It is not. It's a scenario showing where we could be heading, for better and for worse. I wrote this piece to start a discussion about some of the pros and cons of the current technological development. When we are dealing with the future, it's not enough to work with reports. We should start discussions in many new ways. This is the intention with the piece. So welcome to the year 2030. Welcome to my city, or I should say our city. I don't own anything. I don't own a car. I don't own a house. I don't own any appliances. I don't even own any clothes. It might seem odd to you, but it makes perfect sense for us in the city. Everything you consider a product has now become a service. We have access to transportation, accommodation, food, and all the things we need in our daily lives. One by one, all these things became free. So it ended up not making any sense for us to own much. First, communication became digitalized and free to everyone. Then when clean energy became free, things started to move quickly. Transportation dropped dramatically in price. It made no sense for us to own cars anymore, because we could call a driverless vehicle or a flying car for longer journeys within minutes. We started transporting ourselves in a much more organized and coordinated way when the public transport became easier, quicker, and more convenient than the car. Now I can hardly believe that we accepted congestion and traffic jams, not to mention the air pollution from combustion engines. What were we thinking? Sometimes I use my bike when I go to see some of my friends. I enjoy the exercise and the ride. Kind of gets the soul to come along on the journey. Funny how some things seem never to lose their excitement. Walking, biking, cooking, drawing, and growing plants. It makes perfect sense and reminds us of how our culture emerged out of a close relationship with nature. Environmental problems seem far away. In our city, we don't pay any rent because someone else is using our free space when we don't need it. My living room is used for business meetings when I'm not there. Once in a while, I will choose to cook for myself. It's easy. The necessary kitchen equipment is delivered at my door within minutes. Since transport became free, we stopped having all those things stuffed in our home. Why keep a pasta maker and a crepe cooker crammed into our cupboards? We can just order them when we need them. They also made the breakthrough of circular economy easier. When products are turned into services, no one has an interest in things with a short lifespan. Everything is designed for durability, repairability, and recyclability. The materials are flowing more quickly in our economy and can be transformed to new products pretty easily. Environmental problems seem far away since we only use clean energy and clean production methods. The air is clean, the water is clean. Nobody would dare touch the protected areas of nature because they constitute such a value to our well-being. In the cities, we have plenty of green space and plants and trees all over. I do not understand why in the past we filled all these free spots in the city with concrete. The death of shopping. Shopping? I can't really remember what that is. For most of us, it is turned into choosing things to use. Sometimes I find this fun. Sometimes I just want the algorithm to do it for me. It knows my taste better than I do by now. When AI and robots took over so much of our work, we suddenly had time to eat well, sleep well, and spend time with other people. The concept of rush hour makes no sense anymore since work that we do can be done at any time. I don't really know if I would call it work anymore. It's more like thinking time, creation time, development time. For a while, everything was turned into entertainment, and people did not want to bother themselves with difficult issues. It was only at the last minute that we found out how to use all these new technologies for better purposes than just killing time. Now, they live different kinds of lives outside the city. My biggest concern is all the people who do not live in our city. Those we lost along the way. Those who decided that it became too much, all this technology. Those who felt obsolete and useless when robots and AI took over big parts of our jobs. Those who got upset with the political system and turned against it. They live different kinds of lives outside the city. Some have formed little self-supplying communities. Others just stayed in the empty and abandoned houses in small 19th century villages. Once in a while I get annoyed about the fact that I have no real privacy. Nowhere I can go and not be registered. I know that somewhere everything I do, think, and dream is recorded. I just hope that nobody will use it against me. All in all, it's a good life, much better than the path we were on, where it became so clear that we could not continue with the same model of growth. We had all these terrible things happening: lifestyle diseases, climate change, refugee crisis, environmental degradation, completely congested cities, water pollution, air pollution, social unrest, and unemployment. We lost way too many people before we realized that we could do things differently. Author's note: some people have read this blog as my utopia. Dream of the future is not a scenario showing where we could be heading for better or for worse. I wrote this piece to start a discussion about some of the pros and cons of the current technological development. When we are dealing with the future, it is not enough to work with reports. We should also start discussions in many new ways. That is the intention with this piece. Well, the only thing I will say for me is that I like, of all this, the part that makes her feel worst is the part that makes me feel best. You know, the idea of living outside the system, forming little self-supplying communities. Yeah, that's the piece that is more agreeable to me.
Yes, more appealing. So, this is it's interesting. She says she wants to start a conversation as if we'll really have a whole lot of say going into this in the future. So
Yeah. Well, as we know, obviously we know 2020 was the year of the starting of not being able to speak openly. And it feels like 2021 is going to an all new level as far as that goes. And we'll see what happens with this video, if it ever gets published or not, because it may not, depending on what happens. And, this is a video that I can't get to play. So maybe you guys could get to play. And it's about, what if privacy becomes a luxury good? And so, for me, it keeps timing out and it's not playing. So, poke around. Check out the info on the World Economic Forum. Check out the agenda, the platforms, the reports, Davos agenda. We might as well.
Yep. And let us know what you think.
Yes. Let us know your opinions, guys. As always, make sure you're subscribed while we still are here. And thank you for your support on Ko-Fi and Patreon, because we definitely couldn't do it without your support there. God bless and namaste.
Namaste.